This is the Oval in the heart of London, and the match we're about to watch today is the first of the Super Sixes between India and Australia. Well, the bad news is that the covers have just come back on again. One or two menacing clouds in the background over the pavilion, but the forecast today says chance of showers. Well, we know that because we've already got them. And the rest of the day is going to be overcast. One or two sunny spells as well, we hope. It's one of those days, I'm afraid, where we could be on and off the field. At the moment, we're just being prevented from starting the match, although, as I say, the toss has been made, the teams have been named. We might as well have a quick look at those. The Australians: Gilchrist, Mark Waugh, Ricky Ponting, Lehman, Steve Waugh, Michael Bevan, Tom Moody, who came into the side late in the first round. He's kept his place now. Shane Warne, Paul Rifle, Damien Fleming and Glenn McGrath. McGrath in great form at the end of the first round of games, but a quiet man up until that match against the West Indies. India, well, Ganguly and Tendulkar will open, as and when they get the chance. Dravid at 3, Azharuddin at 4, Jadeja. Robin Singh comes back into the side. Nayan Mongi, the keeper. Anil Kumble, Javagal Srinath, Venkatesh Prasad and Debashish Mohanty, of course, who did so well in that vital game against England. The umpires are out on the middle there, just trying to make their minds up as to how quickly they can start. Steve Buckner on the left, Peter Willey on the right. There's Peter Willey. And I think their plan is to get those covers off as quickly as possible. They are moving in the background, which is good news. And no doubt as soon as they're off, then the players can make it out of the field and we can start this match.
Pretty murky out here in the centre, and the outfield still just a little bit damp, but the word is that play is going to get underway on time, and that means the covers here will be moved in a flash, and of course we'll be out amongst the action on this pitch. Now, the way I see it, it looks just a little bit juicy in the surface to me. I don't think that's going to make too much difference, actually, because it seems that the Australians like to bowl last, and India recently have had a fair bit of success batting first. The pitch recently, around about the 220, 250 mark. Ian Botham, you've had plenty of experience out here.
Tony, yes. Well, I think the biggest thing is the overhead conditions this morning. I think it will swing around a little bit, the white ball, but more importantly, this has been covered. It hasn't been exposed very much. I think it'll seam around a bit first up this morning. If I won the toss, I know what I'd do. I'd be sticking the opposition in.
There we are, that's the bet out here. Stick the opposition in, hope it swings around and moves off the seam. That's it from the centre.
Mr. Referee, you're happy? Right, yeah.
Heads, thanks, Hazard.
Heads is the call. Tails it is.
We'll bowl. Okay. What's the main reason for that, Azza?
Well, I think the wickets have been covered for the last couple of days. You know, it didn't have much sun, so I think there will be a little bit in the morning.
Right, you've made the one change. Robin Singh coming in. Will Sachin open the batting?
Yeah, he's going to open the batting, yes.
All right, okay, and a big game, must-win game.
That's right.
All right,
yep.
Good luck then. Steve, you've had a few injury problems. What's the story there?
All the guys are fine. There's a few niggling injuries, but that's always the case with cricket these days, so it's not a major problem.
And you've brought in Paul Rifle for Brendan Jellian. What's the reasoning there?
Yeah, it looks like there's probably a little bit more moisture in this wicket and could seam around. Experienced bowler, and I think he'll bowl well against the Indians.
And for you too, a must-win game.
Yeah, for sure. We're looking forward to it.
Okay, good luck then. Well, there we are. Mohammad Azharuddin of India has won the toss, and Australia will be batting first.
Well, things are looking better here at the Oval. The umpires striding their way out to the middle. Peter Willey on the left. Steve Buckner on the right. And it looks as though we're going to get underway in this opening game in the Super Sixes between India and Australia. The ground not yet quite full, but plenty of supporters from both camps here. And Mohammad Azharuddin leads the Indian side onto the field. He won the toss this morning when there was a little bit of drizzle in the air. The covers have been on for some time. And Azhar will be hoping there's some life in the pitch, some life in the atmosphere that will help men like Javagal Srinath make early inroads into the Australian batting. They've got a lot of work to do. There are other sides above them already with points to their name. And as it works out, it's the top 4 sides, of course, that go through from these Super Sixes into the semi-finals. If you start on 0 points, it makes life a lot harder. If you start with 4 points to these Super Sixes.
Here we go. India, Australia. Oh, that one nipped back a long way. Got outside the line. Well, there's an indication straight away that there's a little bit of juice in this surface.
It's only to be expected, isn't it? The wicket's been covered for quite a considerable time. It's had virtually no time for the sun to get on it. So it will give assistance, I think, Greggy, and I think it's an important toss.
It's a good toss to win, and it'll be a little battle here for the Australian openers. Mark Waugh on strike. 2 slips and a gully. Just the third man and fine leg back. Way down the leg side, and Australia are off the mark courtesy of a very big wide.
So the keepers have had a fair workout in this World Cup, and it's not a bad way to start your day. Does very well.
It's pretty well done down the leg side. It was a long way down, and it started to swing in the air after it pitched as well. So the keeper, Mongia, there had to keep going.
Wouldn't have been too far away as well.
It's Mark Waugh so far in this tournament. He's due, isn't he? He's over the years played a very important part at the top of the order for the Australians. If he does well, more often than not, they win the match. But you can see there, Scotland 67, Pakistan 41 and Bangladesh 33. Nothing else to talk about, really. For always relatively economical. 1 for 31, 1 for 33, 2 for 25. That was against England. Very well bowled. Just the 8.2 overs there, so he presents a bit of a danger. Just the South Africans getting to him a little bit. Took him for 69. They were all pretty nervous the first match.
Not quite sure how you play that. I think you, as a batsman, you're just pleased that you don't edge these. But almost going like a leg break.
In the air, but well, 4th slippish, I'd say. And back for the second. In comes the throw. Slide down there. Really, it's a pretty soft throw, that one. And Waugh ran well, mind you. And that's the end of the over. 3 for none. Oh, another good delivery. Very good one. Just moving away off the seam. No nick, though. Australia remain 8 for none. Oh, and that's straight down the ground. He hits that one very well. It was right into the slot for him too. So Gilchrist off the mark with a boundary.
Well, that'll settle the nerves. He's looking a little fidgety out there, Adam Gilchrist. Bit of wit. And launches himself at it. He'll give you a few to hit, Andy, but you've got to watch him. He does bowl a few jaffers as well. And both these sides starting this crucial stage of this World Cup with 0 points. So today's game really is crucial. The side that wins this will have a big advantage.
Oh, he's got a bottom edge on that one. Very nearly dragged it back onto the stumps. It was there to cut, that's for sure, and he normally plays the cut shot so well. Oh, it's off the glove, and that's got to be caught. That's a big bounce. It's hit him on the glove. He's staying there. Well, perhaps I got it wrong. Perhaps it didn't hit him on the glove. Certainly Peter Willie didn't think so.
Well, he might not think so. I think the Indians thought there was up there. Worth having another look at that. Oh, this is the advantage that we have that the umpire doesn't. Now, it's banged in. Goes for the pull. Well, hard to tell, isn't it? I mean, if it's hit anything, it's got to be the glove, I would have thought.
Well, this is that was my initial reaction. It seemed to be quite high. Gloves are up there. I don't see how it could have hit anything else. But anyhow, it's a very difficult one for the umpire. This may tell the story. There we go. Very difficult to tell, isn't it?
You know, I'm not sure that doesn't actually hit the forearm. I'm not sure that it misses the gloves and maybe just catches the forearm, but if there is any movement there at all, it's very difficult to tell.
Well, if we can't tell, having confident now, going for his pull shot as well. It's the end of the over. It's 28 for none.
That's edged away very safely. Quickly runs away to that third-man boundary. Mark Waugh's first bound of the day, not without a degree of luck.
And there's a signal. We're in, we're off, we're ready. It's not gone exactly where he wanted. He was going over the top down the ground, but no matter. I think that's a signal to say that we've got to start.
The 50 up for Australia. Gilchrist under just a little bit of pressure coming back to the non-striker's end, but no real problems. That's the second 50 partnership between Mark Waugh and Adam Gilchrist in this World Cup. They've actually had a pretty rough time. So this is a good start for Australia now. Over 4 runs and over now it is. That's a great shot. Just enough width from Mahanti, but put away beautifully by Mark Waugh. All that reconnaissance early in the innings now starting to pay off.
Top shot, square of the wicket, smiles in the middle, well played, pal. You're looking good. Shot of the day up to now, looking forward again, but he's got the width that he requires.
Oh, that's an excellent shot. Mark Waugh's looking in ominous form.
Yes, that's a terrific shot from Mark Waugh. Devashish Mohanty has not quite got the ball to move as much as he did in the earlier matches. This is a much easier pitch for the batsman, and on easier pitches he struggled. With the field restrictions still on, Mark Waugh taking it.
Width there for Mark Waugh, and we talked about so often how good he is through the onside, but he's excellent through the offside as well, particularly cutting.
Well, it's not the onside that he favours. Devashish Mohanty once again giving just a little bit of width. This is the problem that Mohammad Azharuddin's going to have, because while Devashish Mohanty is picking wickets, he's a very, very good bowler.
Only about 18,000 the capacity here at the Oval. Well, that's terrific. 6. Way back.
Well, somebody said before this game started that Mark Waugh was due for runs. He's 46 with that shot. Look at that. Just going down the pitch to the medium pace of Ganguly and over long off. This is a terrific shot.
Sachin Tendulkar is now being pushed back to the boundary rope. This looks to be a pretty good pitch at the Oval. Generally, we see matches here later in the season. Test matches are normally played around about August. 50 for Mark Waugh.
Top class batting there. Applause from the Australian dressing room as well. This is his second 50 in the competition. He got 67 against Scotland. But he's given Australia a very, very good start.
Just over mid-off, not quite out of the middle of the bat.
The idea was right in keeping the fielders in the circle, because that's the one way you will make Mark Waugh try and take some risks. This time, of course, there was more of bat in it, so it's gone way over the fielder's head. But if you want the batsman to take a few risks, you've got to tempt them to do so by having the fielders in.
Well, that run rate has been building very nicely for Australia, and in association with the fact that no wickets have fallen, it's a very good position. Chance at mid-off, Mohanty, and he's taken it. So Ganguly, once again, he's been the man with the golden arm, as described by his skipper.
The Prince of Calcutta, he's done it once again. Got a wicket for his team when it was badly needed. He breaks partnerships, making Gilchrist go for an ambitious drive over long off. The fielders in the circle. Simple catch to Debashish Mohanty. The Australian opening partnership has been broken by Sourav Ganguly. Gilchrist out for 31. They're 97 for 1.
Ricky Ponting is at non-striker's end, with the batsman having crossed. Mark Waugh on strike now, with Ganguly having got the breakthrough. Ganguly just doing enough to keep the batsman honest, and he's got that breakthrough.
Gilchrist not able to get under the ball quickly enough for it to hit the middle. In fact, the ball was a lot shorter than he expected. Ganguly might have seen him coming, pitched it just a little bit short. Mohanty taking a simple catch.
Ponting gets it over cover. It's going at 6. Well, that was interesting, wasn't it? He's tied down, he made the charge, he dropped it in short, and he still got it away down the long off. Well struck.
Yes, that's what a little bit of pressure does. You don't often see a batsman who hasn't scored do this to get off the mark. Well, he went down the pitch, it bounced a little bit. Ganguly probably saw him coming, and he's flat batted it straight down the ground for 6. All is well that ends well, and that was a wonderful bit of timing, and he had them scattering down there at deep mid-off.
Was badly bowled from the point of view. He saw him coming and he gave him some width, but straight at the body. Ponting would have been in some strife, but he gave him that width and he hit it as clean as a whistle. There's the projected scores at 8 runs and over. It'd be 326. India's strength is not their bowling nor their fielding. It's an average fielding side. The pressure will be applied, particularly if Mark Waugh can go on. Well, I'm still going for the 326, Tony.
Well, good luck. You're more often than not wrong when it comes to run rates like that. So we'll have a little we'll look at the score at the end. I reckon something in the order of 275 is going to be acceptable. They may get a bit more, but time will be the judge.
Best batting wicket in England at the Oval. Looks to be a beauty here today. The ball coming onto the bat. That's safe. And it's gone.
That's a very good shot. Mark Waugh lined that one up. No one back in that area, and he hit the ball to exactly the spot he wanted it to go. Just watch him. He came down the pitch there, took it from outside off stump. Nice, calm, lofted.
Shout for LB. It was Ford, not supported by the wicketkeeper really, umpire Peter Willey, already having a very good match. Some tough decisions early on, he got them 100% right. There's the charge again, he gets outside the line.
That one did come back a long way off the pitch. Good decision again. He's made a couple of really good decisions today, umpire Willey. We'll expect later on there's going to be a little bit of movement out there all day.
Another good shot, but there's a man at square leg. Well, really, the pressure's going to be on the middle order. Darren Lehman and Steve Waugh to perform here today. They've got the start they needed. The conditions are good now. It's quite a sunny afternoon. Lehman, Waugh, Bevan, Moody. Very strong middle order. It's well bowled. Good line, nice and straight.
As the captain of Australia, be relatively happy with the way things are going at the moment. He realises that they've got to win all these matches now to make sure they move on to the next stage. And of course this match presents a bit of a problem. Australia's track record against this side in recent times not that good.
It's well bowled. Drawing Ricky Ponting forward. It's 124 for 1.
Batting with Ganguly, he's out of the side, and Robin Singh into the side, so they two.
Oh, that's cruel. That's contempt for the fifth bowler. Just stood there and delivered, Mark Waugh, and that's what you've got to do. You're going to win a World Cup. Show some positive thoughts and aggressive batting.
What a shot. This is a really hard hit pull shot outside off stump, right off the middle of the bat. Indians business today.
Indians have been far too short. Simon's gone over mid-off. That'll be 4 more. This is beautiful batting. Highest score by an Australian in this World Cup so far, and Mark Waugh leading from the front.
There's a message in that, isn't there? Mark Waugh 74, top score by an Australian in the World Cup. He's moved to 78 now, actually, with that 4. 92 balls, and he's going really well. Ponting on 16 off 20 balls. And the Australians now starting to turn it on.
Ponting charges. Azharuddin knocks it down at cover. That's well fielded on the bounce. They're hoping for a catch, but it wasn't to be. It was well short. It was 4 runs if it gets past the skipper. Not too deep at cover.
Yes, I think this shot gives you some idea of how hard the pitch is. Just look at that, into the pitch, and it went flying away. And that was well fielded by Azharuddin, actually. He got a hand to it, just knocked it up. And you can see that it was screaming at him.
It's well bowled. They asked him to catch. No catch, so moving off the seam. Very well bowled by Steve Buckner. Well, where that was a movement, no edge.
This was a funny little noise there. I think that's why there was a half-hearted shot. See if we can pick up what happened. It probably moved away off the seam. A long way away from the bat, though. Perhaps he just flicked his pad as his bat came through. Might just show it. It's just a little flick of the pad as the bat went past his pad. That made the noise, hence the appeal.
Whoops, safely home. Robin Singh, but I think Waugh was there.
Yes, he was just there. Good judge of a run.
Mark Waugh is really looking to build on that good foundation. So some problems for Azharuddin.
The 50 partnership too. Headaches for Azharuddin, headaches for India. The sun's out, Ponting's come in. Mark Waugh there, top score, 81. Needed some runs and he's got them.
And to do it in such an important game would also mean a bit to him.
He's a top performer. Unflappable Mr. Cool. Stands upright at the crease and accumulates his runs, but can play the big shots as well. 187 matches. Look at that, nearly 6,500 runs. Top strike rate, nearly 77. And needs some performance from him now.
Well, he'll drive it long on. I think they need more than Tendulkar to sing at the moment. I think they need him to bowl.
Will he be offering? Mark Waugh's champing at the bit here. Closing in on this.
A little bit of width on that occasion. Long chase for mid-off, and he boots it over the rope. And Venkatesh Prasad
It's a rubbish effort too, and he's not happy. You get your whites wet or your blues wet. Here's that delivery again, and it's wide. Scramble Singh. He's Ponting the width that he needed. Needs a dive there.
That's a terrific run rate for Australia, 5.23. Chance at fine leg. Venkatesh Prasad is down there. Well, he's just booted one over the boundary rope, but he's taken a very important catch for India to get rid of a rather casual Mark Waugh on that occasion.
Casual's the word. Head down as soon as he hit it. He's found the fielder at fine leg. It's a nothing ball down the leg side. Just helped it on its way, and as soon as he hit it, he's found him bullseye. Prasad takes the catch. Waugh departs, shake of the head. Singh strikes. If strike is the word. Mark Waugh 83 from 99. 157 for 2.
Darren Lehman is in, and there'll be a sigh of relief from the Indians, having got rid of Mark Waugh, who looked in ominously good form. In the end, got out in rather casual fashion. I think he was meaning to hit that quite a bit squarer. Robin Singh has got the breakthrough. I think Nayan Mongear is asking for a slip, but Azharuddin has decided against it. Big shout there, and they'll pick up a leg bye.
That is a big shout. Big shout on the field and a big shout in the terraces. As Lehman new to the crease, straight enough, it's hit him just on the knee roll. Where did it pitch? Was it just outside?
Oh, and he's gone. Robin Singh gets the double strike. Having got rid of Mark Waugh, now he's got a knock on from Ricky Ponting.
Well, what a change. Australia just going along looking for a massive total. It can still be there, but that's the last thing that they wanted. Two established batsmen back in the hutch in 3 deliveries. Singh again, inside edge, looking for the big shot through the offside. Ricky Ponting can't believe it, but what a comeback from him. It was all frowns not long ago, but Singh strikes. We said before, and it's 2 wickets in an over. Ricky Ponting 23 from 36. Australia 158 for 3.
Steve Waugh at 5. He was asked to bat earlier on today by Mohammad Azharuddin, the Indian captain, and the Australians were just sailing on very nicely with Mark Waugh in dominant form. Robin Singh has struck twice in this over to get rid of firstly Mark Waugh, then Ricky Ponting. There's a buzz here at the Oval. Azharuddin not taking the opportunity to attack anymore after having got the 2 wickets in this over.
This is the last one to go. Ricky Ponting got the width he required on the offside, but he's dragged it onto middle stump. And is he happy? Is his team happy? The ground erupted with a different complexion on it.
It's amazing, Robin Singh there pitching a bit shorter and getting away with it against Steve Waugh. It's 159 for 3.
But there it is again, that Manhattan, where you lose wickets, everything's going along well, then you lose wickets and it goes down.
Steve Waugh, that's well run. He's beaten Robin Singh home, although the umpire has called for a replay.
It needed a dive from both of them. And you can usually tell from the reaction of the players. There's not a lot of action from the Indian players. Steve Waugh looks quite happy and content, but here we go. In comes Singh, one-handed, right-handed. Waugh striving to get there. He's in comfortably, he's past both lines. Close on the second.
No surprises there when the green light flashes. Ian Robinson of Zimbabwe, the third umpire for this game. Ian Robinson absolutely delighted that the Zimbabwe ball.
Full house. Bit of rain first thing this morning. It's okay now.
Oh, that's a good shot. But nice and fine. Handy boundary for Darren Lehman. It's 173 for 3.
Left-hander shot, that bread and butter shot. Just glides it fine past the keeper.
Clattered away, and it's beaten him. Well, it's completely misjudged. Anil Kumble out of mid-wicket seemed to not really have judged the pace of that at all. It was very firmly struck. It just seemed to skid on him a bit as it got close too, but he was never behind it.
Bottom hand creeping into this one and pumped away, but not the best bit of fielding we're going to see in this World Cup.
Happy to see that. How not to do it. 200 comes up for Australia. It's the end of the 39th over too. That's well played. It certainly was too short from Srinath, but beautifully played. Steve Waugh, knowing that there's no one at slip, just guide it down to that third man boundary and using all the pace on the ball.
It's a good shot, man. Quite deliberate. Racing away. Wrong length.
Brings up the 50 partnership as well. The partnership now worth 51 from 58 balls. Steve Waugh has been the major player in that partnership too. Good shot again, nicely clipped away. Prasad should cut that off. And he's got a good arm, but that is a long boundary. 3 runs to Steve Waugh, taking past 6,000 runs in limited overs internationals.
It's a pretty good shot as well. Srinath trying to reach out. Some names there. Steve Waugh now 6,001 runs and on board topping the list, and brother Mark Waugh second. A little bit of hesitation, but as you should do in those circumstances, relying on his partner's judgment. Steve Waugh wasn't too keen on the single, wasn't quite sure where the ball had gone, but
264 matches for Steve Waugh. Well, big question, no answer. That's gone high, hasn't gone off the meat. Nice simple catch for Anil Kumble. Well, Steve Waugh not quite getting hold of that as he intended. Shot might have been on. There was plenty of space over the top at mid-on. Not quite the result he was looking for.
I think it's a leading edge off the bottom of the bat. It just doesn't seem to go anywhere, does it? Certainly didn't hit the meat of the bat. Loops up. Kumble does the rest. Steve Waugh just looking to press the accelerator. He's gone for 36 from 40 deliveries. It's 218 for 4.
Steve Waugh was out, so Michael Bevan, who is the new batsman, didn't have to face that last ball of the...
No ball, and it's 4 no balls. Actually should have been called a wide, I would have thought. Very difficult for the wicketkeeper. Calls byes.
He struggled today. Debashish Mohanty bowled well in the first 2 matches, but then trying to bowl a little too quick over here at the Oval. Got the ball to swing away. That's not what India want at this stage of the innings. They've done a very good job after that brilliant start that the Australians got off to. They have restricted the Australians at this stage. Perhaps they would have been looking at about 250 plus. But they have dragged them back to 231.
Chance for a run. It's gone! Lehman trying to scamper off for a leg by. Jadeja gets the stumps. That's a big blow. Good fielding under pressure. So Lehman's run out for 26 at a vital time.
Well, he was looking to take and keep the strike. Just might have got a little distracted, was trying to play the ball on the onside. Bevan responding first and then saying, no, this is excellent cricket by Ajay Jadeja. Direct hit, and that's got rid of Darren Lehman. He was batting well. Bevan's just still new to the crease. It's 231 for 5 after 44 overs.
New batsman is Tom Moody, confusing there between the two left-handers, Bevan and Lehman. And good fielding under pressure. India needed something special, they got it.
That was very, very good fielding by Ajay Jadeja. The Indians have been practicing throwing at the stumps, an area which they were not very good at earlier on. He had to do it very quickly, pick it up and have a go, and he hit the stumps, and Lehman is not even in the picture.
46 overs bowled to the Australian side, 5 for 238, Waugh 83. Good starts, but nobody going on after Mark Waugh. Good partnership here between Lehman and Stephen Waugh. 4 overs. Nicely played, but just a single. Well, Tom Moody's 33 years of age. He's a big hitter. Not going to be easy against Ranath, who's just short of a good length. Try and bowl the odd Yorker to Moody. A big tall man finds a problem at leg stump with the Yorker. One way to come down with the bat. Probably to try and dart it in between the bat and the pad. Round about leg stump. Two full. That's the single. Bowling his final over and he's still beating the outside edge. He's done that about 8 times today and hasn't got a nick.
Yes, he's been very unlucky. You've got to say that. Srinath has bowled very well in the first spell as well.
Again, Bevan not putting bat on ball on the final overs. 13 deliveries without scoring from Srinath to Bevan. That's excellent bowling. Here it is again. Hits the seam, bit of bounce.
He's getting the ball to move away from the left-hander. That's what he's got to do because he really lines Srinath is bowling.
Oh, he attempts to York. It was a no ball call. Bevan gets it away nicely. Two balls remaining in his final over. No ball called and Bevan did well. Got the foot out the road and whipped it down to square leg for a single. Whoops.
Very quick.
Final delivery, just the single. Smart's bowled out. 17 off his last 4 overs, run for 34 off 10. A good effort. 5 for 243.
Have a wicket to show for it, but there will be times when he will not bowl half as well as he's done here today and show wickets for his efforts. But this,
he does it well, Bevan. This time it goes a long way, goes all the way.
Well, Michael Bevan's not known for his sixes. He's known for the quick singles, the 2s, the 3s. But this time he's struck the ball well, using his feet to the spinner and into the crowd.
Moody, great shot, probably the shot of the day. Stood and delivered. Superb cover drive.
Yes, that's a gorgeous shot from Tom Moody. Anil Kumble has done such a good job in the previous 9 overs, but it's in the 10th over he's been taken for runs. Just making a little bit of room, Tom Moody.
Good effort by the Australians, sent into bat, 5 for 269 up to 49. The last 2 overs, 26 runs without the loss of a wicket, so Moody and Bevan doing the job. Bevan, safe over the man at mid-wicket. It's running down the hill, and it's 4. Oh, good start.
With 6 balls left, unless there are wides and no balls, the Australians would be looking to get at least 15, if not more. They've got 4 already from this shot from Michael Bevan.
This time it's into the gap. Get 2 because he's quick. Excellent running. Robert Singh, the fieldsman, had no hope of nailing Bevan. He's too quick.
Yes, although Robin Singh had the ball in his hands, Michael Bevan knew that he would be able to make it. Robin Singh might have just slipped a little bit, therefore wasn't able to get enough strength in that throw.
In the air, the wicketkeeper should get this. And he's gone. Well, there you go. He dropped it in short. He went to pull it, got a top edge. Bevan's gone for 22 off 26. It's 6 for 275.
Well, the crucial thing in that dismissal is that Tom Moody has crossed. The ball went high up in the air. It allowed both the batsmen to cross. That's important from the Australian point of view and dangerous from the Indian point of view. This one bouncing just a little bit too high for Michael Bevan to get it in the middle. And Mongia taking a simple catch. It's 275 for 6 in the 50th over.
Tom Moody on strike. Chips it nicely into the gap. That's 4 more. Big Tom Moody doing the job. Superb stroke. Gave himself some room. Whipped it over mid-wicket. Superbly timed.
Well, Prasad didn't do anything wrong. As soon as Tom Moody started to make room, he followed him. But Tom Moody still equal to the task, getting the ball away into that gap.
Two balls remaining. 6 to be handy. Slow ball, deceived him completely. That's well bowled.
Well, the surprise is that he hasn't used that slow delivery more often in the final overs. Beautifully disguised this.
Coda varnish from off stump. So the final delivery, barring no balls or wides. Moody 23 off 19 with 3 fours. It's gone for top edge down to third man. Third man's coming around, does well. Tendulkar, I get 2. And a bad throw, and I get 3. They may even get 4, and they're happy with 3. They call for the photo. So Moody could be run out. Third umpire's decision. That's the end for the Australians, but is Moody run out?
Well, it was a terrific effort from Sachin Tendulkar to stop the ball from going over the boundary ropes. Tom Moody just making it. So that's an extra run for the Australians.
So it's 6 for 282. Well, that's a very good effort by Moody. 26 off 23 boundaries. Australia scored 78 off the last 10 overs.
That's a very, very good effort from the Australians. It did look as if the Indians would be able to restrict them to about 260 or 270 at one stage, but it was the Modi-Bevan partnership that upset the Indian planning. And at the end of 50 overs, thanks to that effort from Tom Moody and Michael Bevan in the final overs, it's 282 for 6.
It's a good bowling performance. Nath did well, none for 34. He was very tidy. Singh did the damage, picked up 2 quick wickets for 43 off 7. So it's a good chase, isn't it? 283 for victory for India. On 50 overs at 5.66 runs per over.
The Oval, it's the first game of the Super Sixes. A strong breeze keeping the ensigns fluttering in the breeze there. And we've already seen plenty of action on the field this morning. We're at the halfway stage, of course, thing. But the Australians will be happy with their progress this morning. Steve Waugh leading them out through the corridor of quick cricketers who have been on the field throughout the lunch break. A nice bit of PR there from the Australians, escorted, as it were, onto the field. They now have to defend what looks like a good target, 283. That'll be in the minds of these two. 283 from 50, that's an average of 5.66 runs per over. And it's Sachin Tendulkar and Sourav Ganguly who have the task of trying to get this Indian innings off to a good start. Conditions now quite pleasant. There was a little bit of rain around first thing this morning, enough in fact to delay the start by some 15 minutes. But the clouds now are high, still quite overcast, but what you might call cloudy bright. And well, with a bit of luck we'll get through this game and see a conclusion today. The forecast is that maybe we'll see 1 or 2 more showers throughout the day, but that we can do nothing about.
And straight to Ponting, he could play a pretty important part too. Very good fieldsman, fielding square of the wicket on the offside. So 2 slips and a gully. Pretty strong offside field, so it looks as if McGrath will be trying to bowl that line he's bowled so well over the years, which is pitching around about middle stump to the left-hander, going across towards the slip cordon. And the Indians are off the mark. Down to third man, leaving the fieldsman down there, just the single to Ganguly. So now it's over to Tendulkar.
Well, there's a little bit of bounce in this oval pitch. Glenn McGrath will bother most of the Indian batsmen with his extra bounce. One player who handles the back foot shots pretty comfortably and the bouncing ball pretty comfortably is the man about to take strike, Sachin Tendulkar. Test century in Sydney, Test century in Perth, and that tells you that the bouncing ball doesn't cause him any problems. In fact, I think when he made those centuries he was only about 19 years of age. But this could well be the battle on which the war is either won or lost, whoever wins this little joust.
Almost a deathly hush in the ground as all the Indians that are here today home in on this this battle. And while they may be quiet now, given that Sachin Tendulkar gets one away to the boundary, there will be a roar in the stadium. He watchfully played, pushed away on the offside. Yes, just looking at those figures that back. Then an 80 before that, 15, another century and an 8. Quite incredible, and that's forgetting about any wickets that he's taken. So 621 runs at 88 runs per innings. That's his average. Oh, beautiful delivery, just past the outside edge.
Yes, that'll be the length where Glenn McGrath will want to bowl to Sachin Tendulkar. I think he'll be trying to get him onto the front foot where he's either driving or playing in defence, as he was on this occasion. And there's good bounce. Adam Gilchrist having to get up on his century in each of his last 10 innings against Australia.
That's out, that's caught behind, he's got him, Glenn McGrath has struck, that's the end of Tendulkar. Is it the end of India? What a wicket for Glenn McGrath. He's definitely back in business, and that will be a big disappointment, not just to this Indian team, but to all the fans that have come to watch this man play. What a wicket.
Perfect length from Glenn McGrath, and just a hint of movement away. Adam Gilchrist takes it on his right hand. Glenn McGrath has that ability to take on the opposing team's best batsman, and he tends to win a lot of those battles. He's won today, and he might have just won his team the match. It's 1 for 1.
So Rahul Dravid, a right-handed batsman, age 26, and the leading run scorer at the moment in the World Cup. He's out there because Tendulkar is back in the pavilion.
Magnificent length there from Glenn McGrath. His direction was a little astray early on in this competition, but those 5 wickets against the West Indies has got his confidence back.
You need to watch the seam and see if you can pick up the deviation here. They're definitely Ganguly and Dravid have done so well in this tournament. Facing the music, which comes in the form of McGrath. 3 slips in there for the outside edge. There's the short one, and it's deviated in the air, and well, the keeper Gilchrist got a glove to it. He didn't glove it cleanly, so no ball called. They've got a bye as well.
The ball passing above the batsman's shoulder, and Adam Gilchrist being forced to dive like a goalkeeper. It was pretty tight, actually.
Always been this little suspicion that if Tendulkar gets out, that India collapse a bit. Well, for sure that's going to happen here. Oh, that's in the air. Yes, he's got in. That's a beautiful delivery as well. What a good catch too. That was going up. Glenn McGrath is back, and boy, is he firing. That one again brought the batsman forward, again moved off the seam, again a big deflection, and beautifully taken.
Yes, that was a very sharp chance for Adam Gilchrist. It was really flying quickly. And this is the difference between the bowling of Srinath and McGrath. McGrath is bringing the batsman forward and bowling on a magnificent line. This is the line we're used to from Glenn McGrath, and he really is back to his best. India in trouble. They've lost 2 of their best at 10 for 2.
Ajay Jadeja, the new batsman. And, he's come in ahead of Mohammad Azharuddin. That's the end of a very good over. Glenn McGrath, 2 for 6 he figures at the moment, and with 2 fantastic wickets. Beautiful ball from Glenn McGrath. 2 for 6 he's got. And the other thing that was interesting about that particular dismissal was the position of the first slip. Nicely clipped off his hip that time. I'll come back to the second. Rifle the fieldsman down there. The throw's good, but the running is also good.
Ajay Jadeja being sent in at number 4, probably because he's had a fair bit of experience opening. He's opened in both one-day internationals and test matches. Has a pretty good record, particularly in the one-day international arena. Average of 36 with 5 centuries.
Oh, he's got in, he's bowled in. It's dragged off the inside edge of the bat. It's hit middle stump. And so Fleming now strikes, and the Australians are back in business. They really are. They started this World Cup dreadfully against Scotland. They've got steadily better, and here they are at the Oval today with their bowlers really firing.
Well, this has been a much more aggressive Australian side, and this is when they play at their best. Damien Fleming just getting the ball to move a little off the seam. Ganguly from edge onto the top of the leg bail. Damien Fleming joining in this little party that the Australian new ball bowlers are having at the expense of India here at the Oval. It's 12 for 3.
Yes, so that's a tragedy really from India's point of view. Ganguly out, a little inside edge there again. Will probably pick up a little bit of movement back off the wicket. A tiny little inside edge which deflected onto the top of that leg stump, and it's a dreadful noise to hear. Quite unbelievable. That's out. He's got a top edge on that one. Well, it was the shoulder really of the bat. Just a little bit of extra bounce there again from McGrath. A tentative, I suppose it was a very good delivery. He was half forward, Mohammad Azharuddin. The ball hit the shoulder of the bat, and it's just really ballooned up on the offside and comfortably taken by Steve Waugh.
Well, this is why Glenn McGrath is the number 1 strike bowler for Australia. He has the ability not only to bowl well, but to unsettle top order batsmen. He's now got rid of 3 of India's best, and they're in big trouble at 17 for 4.
So what a challenge now. India represented with 4 wickets down. McGrath and Fleming causing absolute havoc amongst the ranks of the batsmen, the Indians batsmen who have played so well so far in this tournament. Just not able to handle it today. So Robin Singh, age 35, who's been brought back into the side. He's replaced Ramesh, who was opening the batting, and they pushed Sachin Tendulkar up to number 1. Robin Singh came into the middle order. A big chance for him to make a name for himself. 3.2 overs, 3 for 8. So Robin Singh has 4 balls to face this over.
By signalled there by umpire Peter Willey. Well, Glenn McGrath.
Interesting actually, Sonny, just to see how the 2 opening attacks have compared today. There was a lot of anticipation when Srinath had the new ball for India. Bowled just maybe too short. That was the general opinion, I thought, in here. That's going to be close. You never know with umpire Steve Buckner, because he takes his time to make his decision. He's whistling his way out of that one. Beautifully bowled. And that's what happens when you bowl like that. We'll look at that in a moment. For now, it's 20 for 4. Hasn't shuffled out of the way of that one, though. It's a no ball, signalled by Peter Willey. It was a ball of distinct concern to Robin Singh, who would have seen several lives flash before him. Pace and bounce and absolutely spot on here.
He's all fired up. Hit his gloves as well. Didn't know how to play that one, Robin Singh.
That's nicely played. No great effort, just little movement into line, straight bat, slightly open face, and it takes it well away through point for 4.
Well, sheer timing that from Ajay Jadeja. You can see not much of a follow through, but he got into position very early.
It's just wide. Mark Waugh it was who started to go to his right, realised it was out of reach and travelling pretty quickly.
This is when a captain looks at what has happened and says, a third slip would have been very handy. Playing just a little bit away from his body, it would have been right.
Oh, bottom edge doesn't carry to Gilchrist.
Moody's probably the tallest of the Australian bowlers, even tall catches.
There's a chance. In comes Bevan, misses. Oh, that would have been very close. Michael Bevan had 4 shies at the stump so far. He's missed the lot. It's 4 for 49. It's Tom Moody. There's McGrath in the action again. Good throw. Oh, he's a good cricketer, isn't he? He tacked that ball. Very few fast bowlers of great fieldsmen. 50 comes up for 4 for India, but McGrath, after the drink breaks, not on the back foot, charges in. Good pick up. It was good running as well by the batsman. That's excellent fielding.
Brief relief there for India that they've got 50. And the ground has just come alive a touch, but he runs people out for fun.
Charge and good shot. Rifle didn't offer his length, and that's 4. So that's a bit of joy for the fans here at the Oval, particularly the Indian supporters. They'll be a little bit shell-shocked with this bowling performance by McGrath and Fleming. That was a good stroke. Wasn't a bad delivery.
Nothing wrong with the delivery, but Jadeja down the pitch, looking to make something out of nothing.
Well, that's not for a shot. This will be close. Umpire Steve Buckner has a walk, shakes his head belatedly. It's 4 for 57.
Really continuing, wicket for 11. Well, that's a good shot. Lovely straight drive, and that also brings up the 50 partnership. A few more of those, and that'll bring a smile to some of the Indians who've been waiting for a bit of good news.
He's played a couple of good shots. Jadeja down the ground, they've hit the field. This one doesn't. Tom really just over pitching. It's a lovely drive. Classic on drive. And once you beat the infield here at the Oval with the outfield, still very quick.
Open the pace on that one, and back for the second. The throw wide. Yes, that wasn't very good fielding. Lehman down on the boundary there. The throw was at least 3 or 4 metres wide of the stumps, and had it been straight, it would have been quite close.
A little fumble at the start, I think, and then it's a case of let's get out of it as much as we can and get it in us. Just let it go.
209 to win. It looks as if Mark Waugh is going to be brought into the attack now to bowl some off spinners. Now, he hasn't bowled too much in this World Cup. I suppose that's an indication that they want to get 1 over out of the way real quick so they can get 25 up just in case it rains all day tomorrow. In fact, this is the first bowl in this World Cup for Mark Waugh. In the air, oh, and just wide. Very nearly picking up a catch at mid-wicket. Ponting tried to come across there and catch that one, but it was just out of his reach.
Ricky Ponting can't get there. I don't think anyone can. So he knows he's struggling with his arm, which makes it seem a little strange that he's out there on the boundary, to be honest. And no ball. One short. There's no ball being seen. What's one short by umpire Peter Willey?
Yes, he's not too keen on having to do all this running down there. It's a lot of open ground for Bevan. The Indians just love the spinners. You can really see them even now starting to release. Just see now where this bat comes down. The umpire has signalled 1 short. Yeah, and quite right too. That's a dreadful feeling, I've got to tell you, when you think.
Decisions today, and he's got everything right.
Short delivery and cut away nicely. Well, they've managed to get that over in nice and quickly, so even if it rains right now and all day tomorrow, 25 overs have been bowled, so we have a match. 81 for 4.
It's race to 05, and it's off the bat. Thought it might have been leg buys, but there's a little bit of willow in it.
All you've got to do is hit it where the pigeons are, and you've got 4.
It's actually the face of the bat. Very fine. There you go. Scattering. Why wouldn't you?
That's 4. He's got onto that one and placed it very well. Right off the middle of the bat, a little bit too straight, and Robin Singh actually does play that shot very well. He doesn't mind getting stuck in with a sweep, and that was an example.
Well, he's tried to execute this shot a couple of times, and you get 4 runs.
Oh, he's hit that one off the middle of the bat, and this one a little squarer. Oh, that's well fielded. Mark Waugh down there. That's the end of the over. 99 for 4.
Oh! 100 up for India. And 1 will be enough there. Don't want to risk a run out. Well, there's something to cheer about anyway.
Well, crowds come alive again. Every milestone that India gets, and it has been a subdued crowd, stunned at the beginning of the batting lineup. That's a big ask, 9.38. And it's India versus Waugh.
50 for Ajay Jadeja. Oh, it's been a fine innings given the context of the game. Would have been so much more handy, of course, had this followed on from a platform built by the likes of Tendulkar, Dravid and Ganguly. Robin Singh now on to 50 as well. He's a man with a one-day 100 to his name. But he's had to battle a bit today. He's played well.
He has played well. They both played well, and they needed to. It's still wandering up towards 10, but they're just alive. India is still alive. They still need a massive partnership from these two just to continue, and some big boundaries as well.
Top work this, Flemo. Come on, boy.
That's nicely played, very deft. Attempted Yorker, just chopped away, steered very fine.
And Fleming's looking for the Yorker. Chastising himself, but it's just slightly wide. And that is a deft shot, just opened the face. Well, I've just stepped off the gas a touch. Get a grip again, captain, wandering up to 11s.
Very crisply struck. Only just a little bit over-pitched and beautifully dealt with. 133 for 4.
This is a top shot. He's timed the pants off it through cover.
That's straight down the ground and clattering into the crowd. Second 6 for Robin Singh off the bowling of Shane Warne. I wonder if he caught it.
It's another question, and it's that short-arm jab again from Singh, straight as a gun barrel, straight down the ground, 4 or 5 rows back. What a catch, sir, well held.
Oh, one hand, one bounce. That's good to watch. It's a shame for India, of course, that the position is that they're so far behind the asking rate, because with the anticipation of this sort of contest yesterday, as Sunil Gavaskar was one saying that the Indians have no fear of Shane Warne. Oh, that's beautifully hit again. That's going to clear the ropes for the 3rd time. He does time these well. Still taking the challenge, Robin Singh.
Still going, still rocking. Shortest boundary in the outer. Warne to Singh, 18 balls, 32 runs, he likes him.
Full toss chipped away, just for 1 this time. One of those shots was keep his head down, watching the ball closely. And Jadeja, not to be outdone, eases that one over extra cover for 6 more, brings up the 150 for India, and makes this one of the most expensive overs of the entire tournament. There's 1 ball left. Already it's cost 21.
And game on. 2 6s to Singh. And Jadeja gets in on it. And again clears well over. 1 ball to go, this over. Big over.
And the entire crowd going, ah. But enjoying the runs that came from the over. 21, it's 154 for 4. This time along the ground, and great running by Jadeja. As long as he makes it home, the direct hit makes life interesting.
In for me. Moody out of the way. and he's well in, well in. No reaction from any of the players. They knew he was in.
Well, crowd enjoying it. They've just seen it on the big screen. And the Indian supporters delighted that this partnership will continue. Oh, he's got him. Well, straight into the hands of Paul Rifle. It was an ambitious shot from Robin Singh as he gave himself all the space he needed to hit it away on the leg side. But succeeded, sadly for him, only in finding the hands of Paul Rifle at long leg.
Well, he's been brilliant to watch. He's manipulated the bowlers, he's got the innings going with some singles and then some massive shots, big shots. But he's found Paul Rifle there at deep fine leg. Tom Moody, he's telling him on your way. Robin Singh, 75, 158 for 5.
With the departure of Robin Singh, Nayan Mongia makes his way to the crease.
High.
This time he gets it off the middle and places it beautifully.
Coming to the end overs of the match, Jadeja, realizing that singles will not get India anywhere, has started to play his shots. Once again, just a little bit of the shuffle, and he's got enough room outside the off stump to hit.
He's hit that well, and he's cleared the rope.
Once again, Ajay Jadeja reaping the reward for waiting onto the back foot, not committing himself onto the front foot. There it is, slightly short, and all he's done is he's transferred his weight onto the back foot and pulled it away over the ropes.
This time Nayan Mongia gets the single to third man, but it means now that Ajay Jadeja's got to take a lot of risks. Now there's an extra run if they'd run hard. That's terrible cricket from India. Horrible cricket.
Where he seems to say to himself, well, my non-striker is really not interested.
Oh, direct hit, and I think Mongia is in trouble. He's just heading straight for the pavilion. He knows he's gone. This time he did run hard, but the throw from Michael Bevan, whilst he hasn't got a strong arm, it was accurate.
Yes, it had to be a direct hit to get Mongia out, and he's way short of the crease. But India will see a silver lining in that Ajay Jadeja retains the strike. And Mongia is out. It's 181 for 6.
Javagal Srinath will be at the non-striker's end. He's a noted hitter, but he's going to have to do a lot of damage very quickly if India are to have any chance at all in this game. Steve Waugh bowling his first over in this innings. Fine leg is up, and that'll be 4. 6 in fact. I think he's hit it. No, in fact it's landed just short of the rope.
Well, Jadeja quick to see that the fielder had been brought in the circle at deep fine leg, from deep fine leg to short fine leg, and seizing on that opportunity.
And he's been given out. Srinath had his back turned. He was scrambling to get back in the crease, but when he looked around, he got the bad news from Peter Willey.
Steve Waugh bringing himself on and immediately succeeding. Last ball of his first over. A faint tickle. That's enough. Srinath out without scoring, without disturbing the scorers. It's 186 for 7.
Anil Kumble comes in at 186 for 7. And he's going to be at the non-striker's end. In the commentary position now, Ian Botham with Bill Laurie.
Thank you, Ian Chappell. Handy wicket for Steve Waugh. Tom Moody continues. Well bowled and well played. He looked for 2, but Kumble slowly away. happy with the single. It's been a good fight back by India. And Steve Waugh has kept his nerve.
Expensive figures. Edge.
Gone. Well caught. Gilchrist having a good match. Steve Waugh gets his second wicket. And Gilchrist has done a good job today. He's been very solid behind. Put that as clean as a whistle.
Almost run this off the face rather than an edge. Definitely, I think it is off the face of the bat. It's well taken by Evan Gilchrist, trying to run it through probably about the second slip area. And Steve Waugh picks up another wicket. Anil Kumble goes for 3 from 6 deliveries. It's 192 for 8.
Batsman Prasad, Waugh has 2 for 8 in his second over. It's a leg by. As this was off the full face of the bat, he just tried. Full pitch. Picks up a single. Eight for 200 up to 47. Wonderful spell by McGrath. 3 for 34 off 10.
Now they'll be talking about the man of the match today. The man that I think won the game for Australia is the man in your picture. Got the runs, but you've still got to do it at the top of the order. There's 3 wickets.
Down to third man, it's Rifle. He's another pigeon has gone down. He comes back for the second. So there's another pigeon. It's unfortunate. There's a big.
That's got to be close.
It's given him, yes, LB. So it's 9 out. The non-striker's on 99. Umpire Buckner had a nod at his head. Fleming picks up his second wicket.
Well, Steve Buckner just gives it the nod of his head, and yeah, it's pretty adjacent. The only thing he'd have to consider is whether he got outside the line. But that'll do. It's the 9th wicket down. Venkatesh Prasad goes for 2 from 9 deliveries, and it's 204 for 9.
Well played.
And Shane Warne stands there first to congratulate him. And I have to say, it's a very, very good effort. Battled it out. It's not much fun. 17 for 4. Moved into the crease and 100 not out. Well rewarded. 138 balls. .600 in one-day internationals. Not bad, eh?
That was made against quality bowling today. A chance of running out here. So that's it. They're gone. India all out for 205. Security runs onto the ground. A very good effort by the Australians after being sent in by India. The bowlers have responded, defending a big total of 282.
Australia in this World Cup. Now, just have a look at this. It's a catalogue of errors. Put it around either end. In the end, give it to the man with the gloves. He does the job. But Bill, I just get the feeling this just might be the kickstart that Australia have been waiting for. And I think they're going to be major players in this World Cup.
Yes, well, there's the batting card. Magnificent 100 not out. Singh, a superb 75. He really scored beautifully with some magnificent sixes down the ground. The Australians just a little bit too consistent after a wonderful start by Fleming and McGrath.
And they are. Glenn McGrath, my man of the match, because I think he won the game. Those top order devastation. India were always going to struggle to get back in. Damien Fleming supporting him well. The two of them taking 5 wickets for 67 runs there, and that's the difference. That's the mini card. Australia 282 for 6 from their 50 overs. Mark Waugh played very, very well at the top of the order. Steve Waugh got a quick 36. And then India in reply, a mere 205 all out. Jadeja 100 not out. Glenn McGrath 3 for 34.